petite models of different body types for my petite clothing line. Normally, on the day of photo shoot, models will just grab any outfit. But if my model happened to be petite and hourglass, for example, Wendy, 32 double D, and she's 5'2", that's when I have to be very specific. This rack is for her and that rack, not for her. So what am I saying? If you're a petite hourglass body shape, not everything is gonna look good on you. So this video is based on my real life styling for petite hourglass shapes like Wendy. Let's dive right in. The first and foremost that you need to understand your body type is how to work with those curves on a shorter frame. Think about it, you have a shorter torso because of your height. And on that shorter frame of yours, you got bigger boobs and smaller waist, so lots of ins and outs going on. And that's why the way to make you look good is to elongate and to create space. And how do you create space? You cover less. Nope, that is not what I'm referring to. You create space by going with a lower neckline. Deep V neckline, square neckline, anything that shows your collarbone is the way to go. You want to avoid anything that completely covers the front of your chest. So the very on trend, the mock neckline, the turtlenecks, they're not the best for the petite hourglass. When I was doing photo shoot with Wendy, what I noticed is if I make her wear any clothes that's completely covering up her upper body, it's gonna make her look a lot bigger than she actually is. In real life, she's a very skinny girl, but because of her bigger chest, if she wears anything with a high neck, she appears heavier than she actually is. And whenever she wears a lower neckline, immediately she looks way more slimmer and the clothes looks way better in the photo shoot. Dresses are your best bet, especially tight bodycon dresses. This doesn't sound like me at all. If you regularly watch a lot of my videos, you probably noticed I'm telling everybody to stay away from bodycon silhouette. But if you are the petite hourglass, this is the most flattering silhouette on you. Dresses, especially when they're tighter, they are the heaven sent for you because they highlight your curves. And your body looks perfect in these kind of dresses. You are an hourglass. You have the most gorgeous curves that everybody's jealous of. So show it off. And whenever Wendy models for me, I always give her the tight dresses and I just know it will look perfect. And it always has. I didn't even need her to ever try it on. It will always work. And this one is from my clothing line for women 5'4" and under. Go to petitedressing.com today and use code PETITE15 for 15% off your first order. Yes, my darling, I understand you're not gonna be wearing a dress like this every day. So now let's talk about casual. Casuals are gonna be much harder for you than dresses. There's two primary biggest trends for all the casual clothing. Number one is they're getting wider, and number two is they're getting shorter. And neither of this is in your best interest. The hourglass is a very flashy body shape. So even when you're skinny, you just won't look very skinny because of your chest. You don't want anything that is going wide. You don't want anything that's expanding you horizontally. And especially because you're also shorter in height. Whenever you're going wide, that's also making you look shorter in your length. So be very careful for any pieces, no matter how trendy they are, they're just not gonna do justice to your body shape. There are certain designs, by nature, they are just gonna make you look wider. For example, double-breasted anything. This is the kind of design that you wanna be very careful about, especially because you are petite and hourglass. So you don't want anything that drag you this way, you always want to go longer this way. Now let's talk about the crop length. Even though this is the hottest trend right now, because you are petite and hourglass, you want to be very careful about it. Normally for somebody who's shorter, this is something I highly recommend because they can elongate your legs. But because your boobs are already bigger, and that's why even if something is regular length, they can already look shorter on you. So you have to be careful what kind of crop tops you're wearing. For the tube tops, even though they might look very fashionable on somebody with a smaller chest, on you, they just don't provide enough support for your chest. They don't give you the nice shape for your breasts. So stay away from those, especially if they're flimsy. For any other crop top, whether it's a sweater or a coat, a jacket, you want to make sure it's not cropped and too loose. You want to make sure if it's shorter, then it's more fitted. And that's how you can make it work on your body shape. Anything that's both shorter and wider, they're not gonna do justice to your curves. Now let's talk about pants and jeans. Quite honestly, these are the two categories my hourglass shaped petite models typically have more struggles with. One thing you probably have noticed that quite often is that dress pants, especially when they're not made of elastic fabrics, tend to be pulling on your thighs. And the reason is not because your thighs are bigger, the reason is really because your hips are curvier. So to solve this, you need to go with curvy fit. And with your jeans, you probably have noticed another major problem, the gapping. Because it's so hard to find a pair of jeans that fits the hourglass both in the waist and in the hips. And the key is to go with the curvy fit, because these are cut with a curvy body shape in mind, so they're designed to fit a smaller waist and bigger curves like yours. Now let's talk about your shoes. Heels, heels, heels. When it comes to the hourglass, especially because of your petite hourglass, heels really is your best bet. There's several things. One, heels is gonna give you that height boost. And two, heels, whenever they're making you look longer, they're also making you look slimmer. And that's exactly what a shorter hourglass shape needs. Not only you should go with heels, but also you want to go with slender toe shape. And this is true no matter what body shape you are if you are petite. Because longer toe shape, the more slender toe shape, they can elongate you. Not only they make your legs look elongated, but also your entire silhouette, your entire body is gonna look elongated. And that's especially very critical for petite hourglass body shape. And it's so important that you should stay away from any shoes that's bulky, even though that's one of the biggest trends right now. All the bulky toe shape and all the thick bottoms, the lock soles, those are the things that's not gonna make you look good because they add weight to the bottom of your feet. Because we're shorter, you don't want to look bottom heavy. You always want to draw attention to higher to your face, and you don't want your bottom to look like there's too much attention, and especially those kind of shoes also make your legs look shorter. Because we're petite, no matter what body shape we are, we just have to be more selective about the styles that we wear. This is something I realized 3 years ago, because even if I get a petite size clothes that fits my body, but if the style is not right, it just will not look good on me. And that's my principle, and that's my philosophy when I started my own clothing line for women 5'4" and under. It has to be the right style. It has to be a style that's gonna be able to elongate a shorter person and therefore create the best body proportion. So go to my website, petitedressing.com, and check out my clothing line for petite women handpicked by me.